Good morning, it's Lorraine again. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. I hope everybody's well and happy. I'm busy crafting. So here we are again with the shabby vintage journal, and last video I said I needed to reinforce the spine a little bit because it felt a bit too soft. We was going to do the cover and then decorate some of the edges, maybe add a little bit more ephemera inside. So that's where we're up to today. And hopefully, if the camera behaves itself, we might get it recorded. So what I've done, if I just show you the front, all I've done, I've just taken a piece of cardstock, and I've just glued it onto and over the stitching, and it's just added a little bit more stability to the spine, because as it was getting heavier and heavier, it was struggling a little bit, was that spine. So that's what I've done, and I'm happy with that. That seems okay. And what I've decided to put on the front is one of these vintage ladies, and I've already made a start because I've cut it out, the vintage lady. It was a large one and it had quite a lot of colour around it, but I just wanted the image, so I've taken the image from its surround, I've backed it onto a little bit of matching pink cardstock, and then I've put some lace trim around the back. And how I've done that is, rather than waste a whole panel, I've just used really fine lace trim, and I've used double-sided sticky, so it's still a little bit sticky in places, but that it doesn't matter because it's going down there. So that, I think that looks really sweet, and I was quite happy with that. So what I'm going to do is leave it. I was just going to stick it down, but then you have to wait for it to dry before you can go inside, so I'm going to leave it until later. And I've got some lace trim. Again, I'm going to leave it, then I'm just going to cover that edge up with that piece of crocheted lace trim on there. So that can go there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of something on top of the lady, a little cluster of something, but I haven't fully decided yet. So this is going to be the closure. It's like a rope ribbon, and I'm going to make a loose fastening around the journal with that. So we'll go inside and have a look. I've added the piece of paper that talks about what a journal is and how it can be used, and I've just put an altered paper clip on there so that it just blended in with everything, so I put it on so that you could tell that was actually something worth pulling out. So we've done all these, and I'm looking now just to trim and decorate some, but not all, of the pages. I might put a little bit of lace along here, just a tiny amount of, just to give it a little bit of something there. That looks okay, doesn't it? So we'll just glue that on. I would have used double-sided tape, but the tape's thicker than this ribbon, and so I'm not going to use that. Oh, I meant to fill this bottle before I started, and I haven't, so you'll have to just bear with me while it decides it's coming out or not. So I'm just running it along the edge of that bottom pocket there, a tiny amount of glue, and then just going to put this crocheted lace trim along the bottom and dab that. This glue is really good because it dries clear, so if you've got a little bit of an excess, it doesn't matter because it's going to dry clear. See, so that just adds a tiny little bit of something on the bottom of that pocket. Also, what I've found is this envelope. Actually, this came with a journal that I received, and I just thought the colour and this fabric trim would just go well, so I might just pop that inside there. It's got inside, I made just from scrap papers, just a tiny little notepad, and it's got a washi tape topping on. So I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't made a plan, so I'm just going to flip through until something catches my eye and I think that needs a little bit of something. I didn't know whether to put any trim on there, but I don't think it adds anything to it, so I'm not going to do. I'm not sure that doesn't need a little bit of something on the bottom of there. Yeah, I'm going to put this on and make it into a little pocket. So I'm just going to glue the 3 sides so that the top is open. I can So that's that. That's too big to go on there. Never mind. I've tidied these up and I've clipped things together in the hope that I could find something easier. But it's not working out that way. Let's pull what we've got in here. If there's anything tiny enough. No, they're all too big. So it's going to be these tiny ones. Yeah. And we need something to just go on the front of there. Let me clip them together, otherwise I'll lose them all again. So, do I have a small tip? I did have a small tip in the botanical things. I'm sorry, I'm mumbling. I hope you can hear me. Here we go. There's tiny little tickets here. That's nice on there, so I'm going to put that on there just to give it a little bit of colour on the front of there. You have to excuse if you can hear the banging and crashing because the husband's still building. I shan't tell him what he's building, but it's something that he's wanted to do for a long time, and I'm not fully in agreement with it, so I'm just leaving him to it. I only go and help when I can hear him getting frustrated. And then I just go and I'll hold a piece of wood up while he screws it or whatever. So that, it was a little bit bland, this, it's very greys and things, so I think that's just added a little bit of extra colour onto that, so that's nice. And this pink just needs some. I'm not going to make it into a pocket. I'm just going to glue it there, just to give it a little bit of something and add a little bit of dimension onto there. Cool. So that just adds a little something to that page. Nice. I'm going to put some ribbon along this edge. So again, not measuring. I make so many mistakes doing that. So many. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the double-sided tape rather than gluing that. I'm just going to run it along the edge of the page. There we go. It tears really easily, this. Make sure it's adhered quite well, and then pull off the backing tape from there. There we go. And then that's, I don't think we're the right or wrong side. So I'm just going to try So again, that just adds a little bit of something to that page, and when the book's closed, it looks nice along the edges there. So something on the edge of this one as well. So again, the double-sided tape. Along the edge of the page. There we go. There we go. And again, just along the edge of the page. These scissors don't like cutting fabric, but I don't get my fabric scissors out while I'm doing this because I'll end up picking the wrong care up and then cutting paper with my fabric scissors, and I don't want to do that. So that's nice on the edge of that page. I don't do too many, I just, like I said, it's just, I look at something and I think, oh, that maybe could do with something. It's usually when they're the plain ones that I quite like. I've enough there. Yes, there's enough there, so we're going to do that. And I'm going to glue that one because it hasn't got much of an edge on there for the double-sided tape. thin bead of the glue, and then we're just going to go along the edge there with that, and just hope that that'll hold. Sometimes it doesn't, and I have to go back with some more glue. Oh, see, that's not going to glue that, is it? I'm really struggling with my glue. Let's use some of this one. Come on. There we go. The hole in these are too thick though, so you can't get a really nice thin bead. You get a big globule. So the reason I didn't use that glue first is because this one takes quite a while to dry, and I'm impatient. One of my faults. So just from the back, just trying to encourage that to hold. And I'm going to have to leave something in there, just so that it doesn't fasten to the other page. So if I leave a little pile of those, it just leaves a space in between the page, and it shouldn't stick. Many times I have to peel off the pages. I might do some on that side as well, because it might just stick itself to there. Okay, that was the little pocket that we put on. I might put one of these little tags, cluster tags that I've made. They're just a die cut circle, and I've stamped some text on. There's a little bit of lace and a butterfly and just a word thing on there. So I might put that on there. Come, come, come. And just on that butterfly, I'm just going to put a little blingy bit. There we go. Sweet. Come on and stick. There we go. Maybe a little something there. I have no glue left. been putting off doing a craft shop online because things are taking an absolute age getting here and sending them. It's a nightmare at the moment is the post because of the coronavirus. Things are held up. I know it's the same the world over. I'm going to have to put an order in at some point because I'm running out of things. The glue that I usually use, I can't buy it here, so I've been using just a cheap brand, and it's not as good. I need to order some and just wait until it comes, because I'm going to get to the point where I have nothing to craft with. Oh, can you imagine? Come on. There we go. And again, just along the edge of that tape. There we go. And it just adds a little something to that. It's getting quite chunky now, so I don't want to put too much more in. I think, look, oh, we need something here because that's not. What have we got? We've got a tiny piece of that, that's no good. And this. I'm not eating chocolates, as the box suggests. I'm just having a look what I've got in here. I have some white. That's a nice one. I have these, you know, and I haven't used them, and I don't know when I'm going to use them. They're like a bubble. I don't know what that would look like on the edge of there. That looks sweet. Let's put it on. Let's use it. It's a little bit like a wool rather than a lace, is that? So I'm going to have to glue this. So again, I'm going to use this tacky thing. It's a little bit like collal glue. It's just a silicone liquid one. There we go. So hopefully it will stick. Oh, it's quite sweet. Isn't it? I like that. Come on. Hey, it's stuck. I've got some. So you get it everywhere. Like. Have to rub it until it dries a little, then you can peel it. So again, I'm going to use some of the cards. Just so that it doesn't stick the pages together. Well, it's quite nice, that bubbly thing. Well, I've started again here because the camera had clipped off, and I'm not sure how much or when it stopped. So if we've missed some I'm sorry, I apologise. It's so frustrating. I need to have a think about what I'm doing with this cam thing. So I might just put in a couple of these tickets here, just to put something in that pocket there that we've created. I'm happier with that. It was just not right for me. So I think we are almost done with the inside. I like that. I should have used it before now. I quite like that. And I've got it in blue as well, so nice. Let's see, the glue stuck. I keep looking at that and thinking it needs a little bit of colour, but there's enough on the page. Maybe if I took out him and put in her, there we go. That gives it a little bit more colour. Yes, I'm happy with that. So, the front cover, we can do it now because I can start to glue it and not worry about not being able to open the journal. So all of these things can go back in. That goes there, that goes there. And these go inside of here. Oops. So, there we go. So I want to stick her down just here on the front, and I'm going to use this glue that gets everywhere. I'm going to try and not stick it right to the edges because it oozes out everywhere. Tacky glue, and I'm going to put her about there. Okay, just ooze that glue out a little bit. Let's just move her across a little bit. There we go. So she's sweet, I like this. And also what I'm going to do is the crocheted lace trim along here. Try and spread that with the nozzle so that it sticks everywhere. There we go. And then I'm just going to move it along. I'll trim it once it's dried. And I'm going to leave that to dry now, because if I mess or I try and open the book, that's going to come off. So I'm just going to leave that there for this to dry and this to dry. Then I'm going to trim these ends there. I'm going to finish off the front. I'm going to put something on there, I don't know what yet, but I had thought of putting a little heart and then maybe some blingy bits on with the heart. But I think that needs fancying up a little bit. So when we come back, we'll have a look at doing that. Thank you for watching and enjoy your day. Bye.